Alright, so this is the second part of the video of Z9 V6 and D9 V6, both stick shift. So in fact, I'm not just doing a general review for all Z9 because that mine is kind of different from every other one because of the stick shift or manual gearbox in it. So I'm also using my own D9, specifically to review it, which I will explain later. Now, the suspension, which I didn't mention in the part 1. The suspension, no, when it comes to the suspension, the Z9 V6 stick shift is more superior than my D9 V6 stick shift. It's more superior. It has a variable suspension, while this my D9 V6 stick shift has just standard on the normal one, or the conventional suspension. However, it doesn't mean it's not good. Trust me, see guys, when it comes to French cars, it's not just Peugeot. Even Renault, when it comes to French cars, they are very good at designing firm suspension, very good suspensions. Not just durable, but is very, very good. That's what they are known for. If not for any other thing, they are known for good suspensions with the chassis of the engine. No, they are perfect when it comes to that. So the 406 has a good suspension, just that the Z9 V6 is more superior. See, the Z9 V6 with this stick shift, even before I put the stick shift box, when in motion, that's when it's actually in action. Honestly, see, no matter, even if I try to swap the car will just make smaller tires. It will just do a stop. As in, it just gone to the ground. Maybe if you don't understand what variable suspension means, it probably may really stop. But I think it's only Peugeot that does that. I don't know if there's any other brand. So the information may be limited online. The variable suspension makes the Z9 V6 stick shift, my own Z9 V6 stick shift, like it makes the car as if no matter what, nothing will ever make the car to lose control. Just gone to the ground, and so that's one advantage it has. However, this D9 V6, it has a soft suspension. The Z9 has a suspension, but it shifts depending on that's what I call it variable. Depending on the vehicle speed, it becomes harsh or hard or soft. It varies. While this one is just permanently soft suspension. But what it does is, this D9 V6 is a perfect car to actually perfect your driving skills, to make it to learn how to actually drive properly. Of course, some people, they drive into them, push you just to drive to just drive normal. But what I'm talking about, if you want a performance driving skill, let me just use that word, the performance driving skill. People that like go on track and to sharpen your driving skills, this one will allow you more than my Z9 V6. Because with this one, you get to be the one to actually control the way the car stays stable. Unlike my Z9 V6 stick shift, it has some electronic assistance to help to do that for you. So, but this one, though, it has to be you. So it will allow you to make mistakes and learn through the mistakes, so that any other car you can handle. You can push any other car, no matter how aggressive or however you want it, because you've been able to learn how to actually. Because before now, cars didn't even have all these electronics, not even ABS, nothing, but now it's all these electronics that now helps the car. Before, you have to know actually how to drive those cars in that manner for you to be able to do those things, drive it aggressively without it spinning off the road. So this one will allow you to actually perfect your driving skill. For example, the reason why I don't want to generalize the D9 V6 stick shift is because this my own, it doesn't have ESP. It doesn't have ESP. While there are some D9 V6 that have ESP, but this one doesn't have. So those ones that have ESP, the D9 V6 that have ESP, their suspension may not, it may work close to that of, I'm not saying the suspension per se, but I'm talking about the handling now. It may behave close to that of Z9 V6 because, it always want to keep the car on straight line, no matter what happens. Why this one? No, you have to be the one to keep it on straight line, whether you are driving slowly or high speed. So this is a perfect car for, so it's as if it's even more fun, because having fun, depending on individuals, will differ, in terms of some fun is actually when the car, there's a way you push it, the tail will push out, and you do another thing, the tail will go back, that's actually fun to a lot of car enthusiasts than the one that no matter what you do, you just stay on straight line. I'll tell you why it kind of becomes boring, because anybody can do that one, but ability to be able to push your car to swerve and still without doing anything, that is fun. Even when I drive my Z9 V6 stick shift, sometimes it has ESP, I just put it off. Okay, so yes, I just put it off so that it will be able to behave the same way with this one when I want to have some fun. Then the second one, second point I want to point out is the driving position. That's the seat. When it was automatic, I'm talking about my Z9 V6 now, when it still have the automatic gearbox, of course the seat position, the way I had to, the seating position was a little bit low, I had to keep it low. But now that it's now stick shift box, I had to now adjust it close to the way my D9 V6 stick shift seat is, So I had to push it up a little, so that my left leg can be able to go up and down, effortlessly without feeling pain or anything. In terms of the adjustment, like which one is more comfortable to drive with, the thing is, see, my D9, this is my D9 V6. I can actually shift the seat as back as I can, but it may get a point, if it goes too back, it means you'll now be stretching your leg to access the pedals. So when it comes to which one do I feel comfortable, it's as if two of them. To be honest, before now, I used to think that I prefer sitting on the D9 V6, this is my D9 V6 seat, because of the way I adjusted it, so it was so good for me to using it for manual. So, but when I now, for the Z9, sometimes I don't feel too comfortable, but then I can adjust it to the seat to be like my D9 one that is manual at that time, So I had to leave it lower, but now I feel almost the same. So I don't think I can be able to differentiate. Of course, the Z9 V6 can go back further than this one, but like I said, there's no need for that because. So I don't have any problem with the sitting position. They are all the same now. I don't feel different, Even the seat has memory. It's a theoretically adjusted seat, the two of them. So all I need to do is set it, adjust it, then press the memory. They say keep it there. So even if anybody change the position, anytime you come and press it, it will adjust itself, including the mirror. Yeah. Even this mirror too, and even the external rear view mirror, they will adjust themselves. Even if anybody change it, it will adjust it back to the saved one in the memory, which is supposed to be the driver. So you have two settings. In case two people are using the car, one can use number one memory, the second person number two. But it's just that once it disconnects the battery, it goes on. The variable steering, okay, two of them. My Z9 V6 stick shift and my D9 V6 stick shift, they all have variable steering. I know I've talked about this before. Variable steering means the lower the vehicle speed, the softer, you have seen my videos where I was using 2 fingers to spin the steering wheel while the car was stationary. But as the vehicle speed increases, we can't even try it anymore. It becomes, that's one of the things that helps with the stability of the car on high speed, and also with the suspension, depending. Now, the it becomes very heavy to steer. So even when you do it like this, it won't really respond like when it was soft. So it makes the car safer and to speed with. But from my observation, the Z9 V6, my Z9 V6, the variable steering, that it becomes heavier earlier before the D9 V6. Let's assume my D9 V6. It's just I've not actually paid attention to know which one kicks in. I know my Z9 V6, I think it kicks in even as slow as maybe like 60 kilometers per hour, or less, or a little bit more. But my D9 V6, I think it gets close to like 80 or 100 kilometers per hour before it now becomes very heavy to steer. So in that case, the Z9 V6 steering, even though they are all the same variable ratio steering, but the Z9 V6 is more performance designed or oriented, whatever. So that one, you can always it has more. In other words, the Z9 V6 has more performance package. It's more performance package than the D9 V6. My own D9 V6. That's the thing. Now like I said, the Z9 V6 has more performance packages. Now of course this D9 V6 doesn't have variable variable suspension. What it does is when the vehicle speed starts increasing, it reduces the suspension. It drops a little, makes it very hard and harsh. So so that the car will stay stable. But the Z9 V6 also has a switch where you can actually, if you don't even want to use the comfort, it has a more like a comfort mode and automatic and sport mode. So the comfort mode, even though it's actually within automatic mode, so that one, if you press it, it will change to automatic. No, you change to sport mode. So even at that sport mode, I noticed that it also affects the steering, variable steering. So even when you're steering, the vehicle is stationary, you find out that even your steering wheel now becomes heavy. Unlike the D9 V6, it doesn't have that switch for sport mode or automatic mode or as in comfort mode. So the variable steering will only have to wait for the vehicle speed to increase. While the the Z9 V6, that switch for you to change to sports mode, what it now does is both the steering, variable steering, and the variable suspension will now go into performance mode immediately. So even at low speed, you get to drive it, it start behaving like a performance vehicle. So you can't really say this. Each one has its own advantage on the other. Why this one hasn't? So there are two different vehicles. So it's very difficult to now say, okay, which one should I go for? This one. If you can't get the two, honestly, you experience two different things driving each of them. So that's how I put it. But both are very fun, very predictable, and you enjoy it both if you can. Z9, okay, I know some people now wondering, okay, they want manual Z9, but they don't want to go to the process of doing the conversion to manual. Then the option you have is get Z9 with 2.2 liter petrol engine. That's if you're in Nigeria. They also have diesels, manual diesels, and the rest. But to buy it, you may have a challenge maintaining it here. So you can get one 2.2 liter is 6-speed manual, and you enjoy it. Of course, I know the power is not as huge as the V6 one, but can actually pull. EW12 is a fun engine, it's a fun engine, and so you can enjoy it. Or you could buy the automatic, the V6 petrol one that comes only in automatic for the Z9. and you enjoy it. It's not like I said, if you the type that likes automatic, see, you will be wondering yourself, why did I even do this conversion? Because you won't see any fault with the transmission. It moves very well and all that, so you may not even have any, so you can go ahead and make the purchase or buy or pick any of the two. Likewise, the D9, if you want more like the performance one, even though like I said, some of the packages in 406 are just standard. You can go for the EW12J4 one that comes only with manual, 5-speed manual, or you can go for the V6. V6 has both automatic and manual. The other engines, like the diesels too have 2.2 and all that, but I'm talking about those in Nigeria. The other engines are EW10J4, EW7J4, SU10J4, EW10D. You know, those ones are just standard engines for fuel economy. So that's the thing. So I think, I hope this video makes sense. If it does, you can make your choice. At least you have understanding of these two vehicles. In case you want to pick one tomorrow or pick both, at least you know what to expect. Or if I remember any other thing, maybe I do a part 3 of this. Okay. All right, that's all.